So we decided to go with tag, and we decided to make a full bodysuit for tag, just to make it so you have actual points where you tap to actually tag the person, and indicators to say whether someone's the tagger or the taggee, whether they've been tagged, and just all these different visual sort of things to make it a bit more interesting and fun, and also cooler.
So one of our original concepts before we landed on Technotag was the Nerf Peace Machine, which was a giant, wearable suit with button-controlled automatic firing, shoulder cannons, a wrist launcher, you can still shoot your normal Nerf gun, and you are the god of the battlefield, Nerfwus.
And our second idea was body bop it, and essentially just bop it on the body with other little aspects and elements from other games, such as like Simon Says and all that, where you just touch yourself in many ways to like do the different commands and stuff that the actual technology told you to do. So it'd say touch your left knee, you touch your left knee, and if you touch your left knee, then it'd be like, congratulations, you get a point. Or like it might be a sequence of where to touch in what order, and that sort of stuff. We decided not to go with that just because we weren't as interested in it as we were with Technotag, and just because of time limit and actual what we were personally interested in.
So the technology we used for our assignment was the microbit, NeoPixels, a few buttons, and a heartbeat sensor, all of which corresponded to each other to make the game that we have today.
Alright, so for the fabrication bit, I first started by just googling images of harnesses and how other people have done it. I found two that I really liked, so I decided to figure out at which way the fabrics went and how they sewed it all together and where the strap adjusters went. Once I figured that out, I went down to Spotlight, bought 4 meters of fabric for one harness and a couple of the strap adjusters and some clippy things. Then I decided to make it by just chopping everything up and sewing it all together with like little cross sewings and yeah.
So for the 3D modeling and printing process, first we had to actually make the physical thing within a CAD program. I decided to make it. I used Fusion and pretty much just made this little bad boy here to house the NeoPixel. The NeoPixel will sit in there, and there's a little gap for the wires to just slightly come out of and bend around wherever we want. Gabe decided to create a little lid for this bad boy, so you can pop it on, and it is see-through or translucent for the lights to actually be able to be visible through it, just so it protects the NeoPixel, holds it in place while also still working as a light source. So I made it in the CAD program, and then handed it off to Gabe, who had the 3D printer, and
Sammy sent it to me as an STL, downloaded it, printed it, went to work. It was great. It was really great. It worked well.
Alright, so the design of the harness goes from this top shoulder down to this waist, and it comes around the back of the lower back, which is where the first clip is. And then there's going to be a separate part of the harness as well, which is for this side of the shoulder, and it goes down to that waist, and it connects on the back as well. But right up at the top of the back, there's a fanny pack there, which is where all the Arduino and everything's being held. That also helps to keep both straps together. And then for the shoulder pad up here, which is where we have a button, and then wires running down to the fanny pack. We used a hot wire cutter to cut out a piece of blue foam, and then we got that and we sanded it off, made it all smooth and everything. And then it went into the vac former thing, which is where we then melted the plastic to make some of the plastic pieces of shoulder pads. Yeah.